Well, welcome to part 4 of the renovation of this MG ZR. It's a 2011. And now, just to bring you up to date with a bit of research I've done on the car, and that is that it was actually built just a couple of days before the factory closed down. So I guess technically it is one of the last ones. And of course, one of the last ones registered, no doubt. I think there was about 2 or 3 others that this particular car came from. When the dealer went into liquidation, they were just left hanging around. And as a result of that, no car really, as you know, needs to be left hanging around, because it just doesn't do it any good. Things perish and bits fall off and all that kind of stuff. Now, interestingly, as many people have pointed out to me, it's registered 2011, built in 2005, but put on an 04 plate. And my research as to why that happened was because not all the right documentation would have been sent to Swansea. So I guess it was not available. And so it didn't actually give it the actual build date. So I'm in the process of chasing a couple of organisations who I won't mention, to see if they will give me a certificate to prove that it was actually built on in April, I think it was, 2005, which means technically it should now be on a 05 plate at least, or 55. I don't know. That's something I need to take up with DVLA. The problem I got at the moment is getting people to come back to me to confirm when it was built, who've got access to all that information. Unfortunately, these organisations seem to be reluctant in coming back to me. I don't know why. Anyway, as I said, it's never good to leave a car hanging around forever. We've all seen what's happened to the headlining on these cars. Over time, they perish. So today's task is taking off the centre caps and re-gluing them, because they've all come away and they just look nasty. And there's a couple on there that are quite faded. So I'm going to replace them from ones that I've got from the alloy version. Trouble is with that is they don't quite fit. I think the contour on the alloy wheel cap compared to the later model plastic versions are slightly different. So I'm going to have to do a bit of jiggery-piggery on that and see what happens. So what I've done is cleaned them both, this side and that side. So they're nice and clean now. Got all the old glue off. So now what I'm going to do is with my trusted Gorilla Glue. So what I'm going to do is start to put the glue onto this disc, the centre cap. I've got to put it on 2 surfaces, the surface of the centre cap itself and the back of the badge. And I can see that the way they did it in the factory was they put it in like the glue that is, in a circular motion. So I've already put one circular motion of glue onto the disc itself. I'm just going to put a little bit more on. I want to make sure there's enough glue. This stuff is hard to get out, but it comes out. There you go. Now I've got to grab this, and I need to put some on this surface too, because ideally what I need to do is get it so that the glue that's on there bonds with the glue that's on there. Now I need to put it on the back of the badge itself. There we go. That's good. And another 3 more to go. Really hard to get out of these bars, but good glue. There we go. A bit there. And of course, be careful you don't put too much on, because if you put too much on, it'll come out the sides and it'll just be white. In fact, I don't think this was glue, you know. I think this was like little adhesive pads that they put on it. Don't want to get too near the edge. If you press down on this, the glue will just come out of the sides and it'll look awful. What I've also done, actually, I'll just leave that on there, is I've pre-cut some bits of tape ready, so that when I press the badge on top of it, obviously it will rise to the contour of the actual centre cap itself, or the badge will. So this is just to hold it down at the very edge. So what I don't want happening is glue coming out the side, because that will get underneath the tape and it will just look a mess. Okay, that's the glue done. I think that's enough. What I want to make sure is that none of it comes out of the side and gets under the tape. Let's now apply this to the centre cap. I should be wearing gloves, you know that, so wear gloves. Oh yeah, that kind of fits okay, I think. Yeah. There's a bit of a mark there, but that's not the glue, I'm pleased to say. And I think I've done it just right, not quite to the edge with the glue, so then the glue doesn't come out around here. As it dries, it will just become a white, gulky, horrible looking mess, basically. So that should be enough. So all I've got to do now is press it down around the edges, keep doing that till it bonds. Then I'll stick my tape on. There we have it. It's forms the tape on because the edges did curl up a bit, but I think that's a pretty good fit now. And the reason for that is because these badges came off of a metal centre cap. So one of the original ones that came with the cars. The later cars had plastic ones fitted to them like this. So the contours of that badge don't seem to fit quite as good to a plastic centre cap. I guess, again, it was another cost-saving exercise by MG Rover to go from alley produced ones to, or metal, whatever they were, to these plastic ones. Either way, I don't think that's looking too bad. The tape is holding it down. Just a couple of little edges creeping up, and I found an absolutely superb way of holding it down. Look at that. Perfect. So here we are. Got to get these wheels refurbished. But for now, that's not bad.